Hey YouTube, it's Monica. I'm making a quick video today. I haven't in a while, but I just wanted to check in. It's after Christmas, so it's sort of a weird day. I'm here at the table with the kiddos. They're doing their schoolwork. And I wanted to make a video about unschooling. I think it can be a really good thing. I have seen people do what they call unschooling, and they do a good job, and they're very active with their kids, and their kids really are always learning. But the concept of unschooling is anything goes, and everything's okay, including nothing is okay. So it's like it's also okay with the philosophy to do like nothing. I don't think that that's a great idea. I'm gonna give you an example. I saw a lady recently, and she posted, and she had some pretty big tragedies. Her husband passed away. Her father passed away. So it's like a year and a half or 2 years of just tragedy in their family. And so I get not having a productive time during, that period of time, not being terribly productive with the schoolwork. I get that. But the kid was 11 years old at the time that she wrote this, having trouble reading. So that means that even before the tragedy hit in the family, that means that at 9 years old, the kid was having trouble reading. So I just want to suggest something to you guys. The concept that it's okay to take extended periods of time where you do not do schoolwork, or at least basic schoolwork like reading practice, writing practice, at least. I think it's a very bad idea. This lady was very stressed out, but was she stressed out because she knows a problem? Possibly, but what really got her to be stressed out was that her child said that she was stupid. So the child actually believes now that she's stupid. So when you are dealing with a 4 or 5-year-old that you're teaching to read and they're resistant, they don't think they're stupid, they just don't want to do it. But the older and older your kid gets and they haven't been taught to read, they're going to start to look at their peers, and they're going to see that all of their friends know how to read and they don't. And kind of a natural interpretation, it's an incorrect interpretation, but natural, is to say, I must be stupid, right? So this is what you're setting your kids up for. If you're being so relaxed that at 9 years old they can't read, you're setting them up to think they're stupid. You don't want to do that. You want to set them up for them to feel like they're really on top of things, like they're pretty smart. Because in reality, I'm sure this girl was smart. Her mom just didn't teach her. Her mom bought into this philosophy of being super relaxed with everything, and in time it will come and it will happen. But in reality, at 9 years old, you want your kid to be an avid reader and to be fairly well read for a 9-year-old. So you want them to have read lots of, not just stories, but all kinds of factual, books that are age appropriate, but you want them to be well read. That way they have developed a good vocabulary from reading, and you can't possibly read to them as much as they can read to themselves. Especially if they've been reading for years, you've been reading to them, and they developed a very fast reading speed. In fact, I think my sons can read faster than I can read, because the way that how early I taught him to read and how much he has read, and I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to keep up. I would get a sore throat every day, like reading out loud that much. So it's just a ridiculous concept that you're not going to be able to read enough to them. They need to be reading on their own by 5 or 6. It's really non-negotiable. Or you're going to set your kid up for thinking that they're stupid, or they're going to hate reading because it's so difficult. And it's one thing when things are difficult when you're 4 or 5. It's another thing when they're difficult when you're 8 or 9. So I'm just saying, consider not getting yourself in this situation. If you have gotten yourself in this situation, I'm sorry. I understand. We've all made mistakes. But move on. How do you move on? I don't know. How do I do it? It seems so hard. It does seem hard, but it's not. It's the same process that you're going to do with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. You're just going to get like Parents' Guide to Teaching Your Child to Read or something similar to that. And every day you're going to sit down, you're going to go through a lesson, then you're going to get an appropriate book for them. And that might be a super simple book. Like what were those little books that you read when you were really little? Those super Bob books.
And I also read Biscuit.
And Biscuit books. So there are these little books called Bob books. And the first, it's like a whole set. And the first book is like 3-word sentences. And that's okay if you're a 9-year-old. If that's where they're at, that's where they're at. You guys start where they're at. So you do the reading lesson. You find like a program that's pretty straightforward. You do a lesson, and then they have to read out loud. And your goal is every day. It might turn out to be 3-4 days a week, but your goal is every day. Try to do it every day, especially if they've gotten older and they're still not reading well. Because if you got a 9-year-old that's not reading well, when in reality they should be well read at this age, you got to put in daily work. You just got to put in daily work. That's all. And it will happen. Your kid is smart. They're not stupid. They're smart. But they're going to start to think they're stupid if you let this go on too much longer. So just put in the work. That's all you got to do. Do your lesson and then make sure they read out loud. Another option that you can do is you can do a longer book, but have them read a sentence or a paragraph wherever they're at. And then you read a bunch. And then you have them read. So you can alternate. Okay, guys. I hope that you have a fabulous time learning and homeschooling. If you like this video, please click thumbs up and share. If you have any questions or suggestions for other videos, please give me those questions or suggestions in the comments below. Have a great day.